Well, another guy that gets it a lot is Jonathan Taylor. How about the reality of the running back situation in the NFL?
It's pretty wild.
And he said it, right? I mean, look, you definitely have to pay attention just so you know, okay, what type of space are you entering into? Taylor said, you just hope from the track record here in Indianapolis that things are being evaluated the right way. He also said, you see why guys request trades. They just want to feel valued by not only their coaches, their teammates, but the organization as well. Hopefully they can see the value, but this goes, I mean, basically in this article, he ends up saying, he's like, it's tough to be a running back.
This is a good quote. I like it.
And it's
one?
apropos to what's happening with all the
people
running
just
backs.
want to feel appreciated. That's just real life humans.
Yeah, but not just by the fans. They want to be appreciated by the front office. They want the company to
that's
say,
what I'm
"We
talking
need
about.
you." Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. That's just a real life. That's a thing that the three of us could go through potentially. You know what I mean? You're not just talking now about NFL players and high level athletes. You're talking about people. People can relate to this and go, you know what? He's right.
Yeah, he is, but he also has a skill set for a finite amount of time that in a cutthroat league that is replaceable. Like, it's...
Jonathan Taylor ain't replaceable. Not right now.
But if you want to start throwing what you could pay him or might need to pay him to keep him happy versus what you might get at $2 million for somebody else, and then you start doing the chart, yeah, he might be.
See, I think he's one of the few guys. I think Saquon's in here too. Look what happened last year if I'm Jonathan Taylor, look what happened last year when I wasn't here and healthy. You guys sucked.
Disaster.
So give me the ball, pay me, and shut up.
Do you really think tight end franchise tag should be worth more than running back franchise tag? Because that's what it is right now. 8 categories of positions. Running back is the lowest of all of them.
I would say...
Because if you're franchise tagging a running back, you're running a lot of offense through them. They're scoring a lot of touchdowns. They're holding the ball a lot of times.
I get it, but there's a lot of running backs.
But you don't franchise tag all of them. So, you're not paying any of these guys?
Well,
the best guy in the league last year is getting $10 million?
The franchise tag is based on what everybody's getting paid. Where the top 5 guys are getting paid.
I understand.
That's what they do at the position.
Right.
So it's a top-heavy position is the tight end room right now in the NFL, and then the drop-off is significant.
Yeah, the tight end tag is $11.5 million.
The top end in the running back room, my point is I think there's a lot of running backs that can run for an average of 75 yards a game to get you over 1,000 yards.
But
now,
he's
there's
talking
only
about
some
guys
that go
like
for 2,000. I get it. Like
Saquon, McCaffrey, these guys aren't just doing 75 yards a game. These guys are like a large chunk of the offense.
I know, but then when I go, okay, so I argue this back and I go, Derrick Henry. What more can you do? And it didn't mean the promised land.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, for the team?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter for any position. Even a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who's a 2-time MVP, couldn't get to the Super Bowl without help.
3-time.
Three-time. What has Derrick Henry got?
I believe the biggest part of this story with Jonathan Taylor, which is fascinating, is he's just 24.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Like Saquon obviously fits that as well, right? But like you're talking, Dalvin Cook is a little older than that, right? When you start moving down you start moving down the road and
28,
a little bit more. Is that what Dalvin is?
28, 29.
Is he 20? I mean, that's like a decade older in the running back position.
It's a second contract.
I know, but it's like that's old. Taylor's not old. Taylor's still a very young guy.
I'm with you though on the running back tag, Aaron. It's got to be more, and it can't ever. It's never going to be more. If it would have potentially been more next year if all 3 of these guys would have been free agents that got tagged this year. They weren't. Those salaries aren't going up, so that tag's never going up.
You're the GM in San Francisco. You're paying more to McCaffrey or more to Debo? With Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle on the team. Like, you got guys who could do the Debo job. Maybe not exactly like him.
There's nobody in the league that does the Debo job, but to your point, there's also nobody in the league that kind of runs like McCaffrey. Like
you checked those stats last year. You could replace Debo.
I know, he had a bad year.
Well,
but
that's all I'm
McCaffrey for
saying.
the last
It's
5 years has hardly been on the field.
We're sitting here throwing $250 million at wide receivers, and a running back can't get more than $6 million.
Okay, but here's the other thing. Like, McCaffrey's a great example. It's hard to stay healthy at that position because you're banging heads on every play. Like, the receiver's not doing that. Yep. The receiver gets crunched like 3 times a year. He absolutely gets blown up 3 times a year.
Yep.
The running back gets blown up on every play.
Just about.
Yeah. But I think we're also entering territory where what you said about running backs is fair of wide receivers. It feels like every year we've got 8 in the draft that you feel good about.
Linebacker, $21 million.
Good point.
Franchise tag.
That seems a lot.
Defensive end, $20 million. 19.7. Less than a linebacker.
But they don't make humans like that. That's a part of the problem there.
Defensive tackle, 18.9. Offensive line, 18.2. Wide receiver, 19.7. Running back, 10.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. But I mean, that's what it is. I think the owners like the 10. I think they want to see these other numbers go down.
Yeah, probably do. And the running backs, by the way, look at what Jags just did. They keep building their room. Philadelphia builds the room around. You don't just have the one focal guy.
Yeah.
Well, they do have. I mean, Travis Etienne is obviously the focal guy, but they're trying to build
No,
it.
you're right. But this is how you get to 10. So now you need 17 wide receivers to get down from $20 million.